Alright, so it's time for another round of Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 eShop deals, all under $10 or your regional equivalent, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now as always then, got a $10 eShop gift card giveaway happening. Super simple to enter, just drop a comment down below, the winner announced next Saturday. And of course, we'll be announcing last week's winner later in this video, so stick around for that. Before we do get into the deals then, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. The support lately has been absolutely massive. It's incredibly appreciated, and we are so close to 70,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy these videos and you want to help a smaller channel like mine, that one click genuinely means a lot. Okay, so the first game of the week, it's Haven, which is 60% off, matching its lowest ever price, and this comes from the creators of Fury. However, it's completely different. It's a gentle, character-driven RPG about two lovers carving out a life on this forgotten planet. Now, gone are the boss rush gauntlets. In their place, you'll find glidey exploration, relationship building, and light tactical combat. Now, you control U and K simultaneously. You're gathering resources, cooking meals, fixing up your ship, and, well, yeah, just kind of being together. But they're not settling in. They're fugitives, escaping a force that wants to tear them apart. So the stakes here, still very real. The real hook though is how lived in it feels. Snappy dialogue, quiet routines, shared moments that actually feel like a relationship. The combat then, it's rhythm based and stylish, but honestly, it's the writing that makes this game special. So yeah, like if you want a game that's heartfelt without being sappy, or a space adventure that's more about connection than conquest, I think this one's really worth it, and my review is below. Sniper Elite 4 is 80% off, matching its lowest ever price, and the formula hasn't changed much, and that's a good thing. You're dropped into open-ended World War II sandboxes with one job: take out targets from afar using the best sniping mechanics in the business. It's all about planning your shots, scouting enemy positions, and lining up those brutal X-ray kill cams. The closer you get, I will admit, the more the gameplay reveals its weaknesses. This isn't built for run and gun, but if you stay patient, stay high, and stay sneaky, it's some of the most satisfying stealth action on Switch. There's even full campaign co-op. Deliver Us the Moon is 70% off. That is a new low price. Now, it's not the prettiest game on Switch, and there are a few performance wobbles, but I will say Switch 2 actually helps this one. But even with the rough edges, this one stuck with me. Now, you play as a lone astronaut sent to the moon to investigate why Earth's last energy lifeline has gone dark. It's somewhat low stakes in the gameplay department, kind of a lonely kind of thriller with a strong focus on exploration and light puzzles, but that story just locks you in. Also, the opening launch sequence, still one of my favorite moments in any sci-fi game. Now, gameplay-wise then as well, it flips between first and third person. There's even some vehicle stuff here. But I just want to give you a fair warning here. Like, if you're prone to motion sickness, a couple of the first-person segments, they might catch you off guard. I don't suffer personally, and they definitely got me a little, yeah, I was feeling a little bit rough with them. But like, still, the story lands, the tone is haunting, and I'd love to see the sequel make it to the Switch 2 next. Find my review for this one in the pinned comments. ITTA is 85% off, matching its lowest ever price, and it's a hidden gem. Now, on the surface, it's a tight bullet howler boss rush experience with twin-stick gameplay, but there's an emotional weight behind it that really works. Now, the setup, you wake up surrounded by your dead family. You're handed a glowing revolver by your pet cat, yes, really, and you're sent off into a strange, broken world filled with monstrous gods and forgotten horrors. Now, I will say here, it's tough, really tough. But the bosses are fair, the weapons feel great, and the exploration definitely gives you room to breathe. Now, the narrative thread then running underneath as well, it's more about grief than exposition, just gives everything here, in my opinion, a bit more impact. So yeah, if you need it, finally, there are assist options built in as well, but if you're up for the challenge, ITTA rewards the effort. And yeah, find my review below. Catherine Full Body is 80% off, matching its lowest ever price, and for me, it is top 10 of all time. This game just hooked me. It's a wild mix of block-pushing puzzle survival, branching relationship drama, and late-night bar chats that somehow, when together, work. Now, you play as Vincent, stuck in a love triangle, or maybe a square now at this point, with his longtime girlfriend, a mysterious stranger, and a new character added for this Full Body edition. The added story content stirred some debate. Personally, I liked it, though I do wish they'd included the original build too. But still, like, it's bold, weird, stylish, and packed with endings and choices. The nightmare puzzles then are deceptively intense, and the soundtrack and atmosphere, they are top tier. There's even Versus Play now. Like, if you haven't seen it already as well, I dropped a 25 best adult games on Switch video earlier this week. Catherine is on there. I'll link it below alongside my review. Arcade Paradise is 70% off. That is a new low price. I went in thinking I wouldn't enjoy the concept, running a laundromat while building an arcade in secret, but it's addictive. Now, you play as Ashley, stuck managing your dad's rundown laundromat, but between the dryers, you're actually slowly turning the back room into a full-blown arcade empire. There's a proper story here, basically, with this rebellious kind of undercurrent. It definitely fits the 90s vibe, but best of all, every machine you install is fully playable. Over 35 of them across all kinds of genres. There's going to be smaller tasks to do as well. We'll say that. Gum to scrape, toilets to clean. But it's all in surface for that perfect management loop. And yeah, something about it just clicks. Now on Switch 1, it had some minor frame drops, but the Switch 2 clears that up nicely. And yeah, if you love kind of like small wins, cleaning laundry, etc., retro games, or just, I guess, weirdly satisfying routines, this one's for you. My review's below. Valkyria Chronicles is 75% off, matching its lowest ever price, and this is a series that deserves more love. Now, it's set in an alternate version of 1930s Europe. It's part tactical RPG, part third-person shooter, but it's completely unique in how it blends turn-based planning with real-time movement. Now, you'll follow Squad 7, a small militia force fighting to defend their neutral homeland from an invasion. The story is emotional, the watercolor visual style, it still holds up thanks to the canvas engine, and the Blitz battle system makes every encounter feel hands-on and strategic. All the DLC is included in this version as well, and the performance on Switch is just rock solid. If you like what you play here then as well, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is also on sale, same discount amount, also matching the low price, and I strongly recommend grabbing both while they're this cheap. Hades is 65% off and matching its lowest ever price, and let's be honest, it's the king of roguelikes. If you've somehow missed it, now is the time. Just fast, fluid combat, razor-sharp writing, and a loop that makes dying feel like progress. Now you play as the immortal son of Hades, fighting your way out of the underworld with a rotating arsenal of mythic weapons and blessings from gods. Every run evolves your build, every death deepens the story, and it all plays out with Supergiant's signature polish and style. Even if roguelikes aren't usually your thing, Hades might be the one that changes your mind. It really is that good. Inside is 90% off, matching its lowest ever price, and I want to shout this one out for two reasons. First, it's a masterpiece. Second, I featured it this week on a short games list, linked below if you missed it. Now, this is a dark, moody platformer where you control a nameless boy drawn into something, deeply wrong. That's all I'm going to say. The less you know going in, the better. But expect eerie puzzles, subtle world building, and one of the most stunning endings I've ever experienced in a game. Overall, though, it's short, sharp, and unforgettable. And yeah, just play it. You won't regret it. ElecHead is 40% off, matching its lowest ever price, and it's one of the smartest indie platformers on the eShop. Now, you play as a little robot named Elec, who can power up the world around him just by touching it. Floors, walls, switches, if it conducts, it activates. The real twist is that you can throw your head to trigger things remotely, but you've only got 10 seconds to get it back, else, you go boom, basically, shut down. Now, that one mechanic carries the whole game, and somehow it just keeps evolving. More puzzles, more clever twists, but never bloated or overcomplicated. It's a short game, around 2 to 3 hours, but it's all signal, no noise. No text though, no tutorials, just a clean retro-style world that teaches you through play. So yeah, if you're into smart combat games that respect your time and reward curiosity, I think you'll love this. I'm actually really excited to see what this dev does next. Alright, find my review below. Crashlands is 80% off, matching its lowest ever price, and this one's a real gem. It also featured in my survival games list earlier this week, which I've linked below if you've missed it. I've been on a bit of a list kick this week, so if you watched any of those, thank you for the support. If you haven't, maybe queue one up next. I also did a open worlds video as well. But with this one here, you play as Flux, a galactic delivery driver who crash lands on a weird, vibrant alien planet thanks to an egomaniac. What follows is a chaotic blend of crafting, combat, base building and exploration. See, it's kind of like survival, but with personality. The writing, though, is really well done. The art's more colourful than most in this genre, and the pacing always gives you something new to chase. You're not just trying to stay alive here, you're trying to rebuild, upgrade, and then potentially push back. There's even taming and boss fights. If you want something that feels a little deeper than, let's say, Don't Starve, but with a much lighter tone, this one's worth a look. Digimon Survive is 84% off. That is a new low price, and this one's a gem. Rough around the edges, sure, but the tone and storytelling go way deeper than I think most people expect from a Digimon game. Now, it's a hybrid between a visual novel and a tactical RPG with a dark, branching narrative that deals with survival, friendship, and loss. You follow Takuma and his classmates, stranded in a strange world full of deadly monsters and difficult choices. It's basically going to be your decisions that shape who lives, who evolves, and how it all ends. At launch, the frame rate was a disaster. Still not perfect, but definitely better now. Overall, though, the mechanics just hold up. So yeah, this one, the turn-based battles are solid. The story really leans into a more mature vibe, and I just like it for that combination. So if you like your RPGs with weight and consequence, this one, Digimon Survive, well worth it. Our winner of the week then is on screen right now. Congrats on the win. Email me for the $10 eShop gift card, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Thursday's video. Final Fantasy IX then is our final game. It's 70% off. It's a new low price, and I think it is an absolute steal for one of the best entries in the series. Revisiting it on Switch was a pleasure. Now here you'll follow Sedaine and his misfit crew through a classic fantasy world full of airships, crystals, and unique characters. Some of the arcs over this game, honestly, they hit hard. And the overall story just blends light adventure with this surprisingly emotional core. It's got charm, humor, a real sense of heart that holds up beautifully just across the board. This version then includes visual upgrades, quality of life features like autosave and boosters, and a few extras like high speed mode or even no encounters if you just want to kind of cruise through that story. So whether it's your first time or your fifth, this is one of the easiest recommendations on the list. And that is the video down. What will you be grabbing this week? Let me know in the comments. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers all.